How do you know when you are with Mr. Right? That's the question that I am often asked. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to figure it out. I'm going to give you 3 key questions that you need to ask yourself to make sure that you're with Mr. Right. My name is Andrea and I'm known as the Fearless Love Coach. I show strong, sassy, successful women how to attract and keep their Mr. Right. But if you want to do that, you've got to get your mindset right. There are so many rights, but I want you to get it right. Okay? Right? So let's crack on. But first, whatever you're doing right now, I want you to completely focus on this video. This is the reason why I'm going to actually ask you right now these 3 key questions. And what's really important is for you to actually become aware of how you feel, not only when I ask you the question, but also when you answer the question. You see, what I'm looking for is your initial gut reaction. I don't want you to intellectualize it. I don't even really want you to think about it. I want you to give me an immediate answer, okay? Because this is going to tell you if you're with the right guy. If you pause and have to think about your answers, that's actually going to tell you that there is something wrong, okay? But if you don't pause and you have an immediate response and you have an immediate yes to these 3 questions, you will know that this guy is a keeper, right? So you ready? Remember, no other distractions. Listen, watch this video and answer the questions when I ask you, okay? Number 1. Would you like this man in your life to be the father of your children? What was your gut initial reaction? Was it a resounding yes, or was it an absolute no? If it's a no, really, you've got to get rid of this guy. You've got to walk away from him. There's something isn't right. But maybe it's not that easy just to walk away. So if you've said no, ask yourself the reasons why you're actually saying no. What actually is the problem? And how many of these problems are there? Are they stacked quite high? Or are they just 1 or 2? And within those problems, are there solutions? Are they reasonable and realistic solutions to these problems? So even though you may have said no, what we need to find out is what's the real issue behind the no. What's the reason why you said no? Because I don't want you to just walk away, okay, right? Because it could be the right guy for you, but you just need to figure some things out. So how did you react? Was it a resounding yes or a resounding no? Make a note of it before we move on to number 2. Now, I don't know what stage you're at in your life right now. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you have children, maybe you don't, maybe you have daughters, maybe you don't. But right now, regardless, I want you to imagine that you have a daughter. And I want you to imagine the guy that you're with. Would you be happy if your daughter was with, dating, wanted to commit to, want to marry a guy who's similar to the guy that you're with? What's your initial gut reaction? Is it a yes? Or is it a no? Now, if you have children, if you have daughters, you will really understand what that means because you want the best for your children, right? And so if it's a no, again, you've got to ask yourself, why is it a no? Do you think this person is okay for you and right for you, but not for your daughter? That will be something interesting to think about. Why would that be so? If it's a yes, and you've had a yes to the first question, you're pretty much onto a good thing here with this particular guy. So what was your gut initial reaction? Did you pause? Did you have to think about it? Did you feel uncomfortable inside? Did you lie to yourself? Get honest. No one else is hearing your answers, only you. You want a long-term, happy, successful relationship. You can have a relationship, right? But I want you to actually have a happy one. For me, that's important. And is that important to you? Yes, I am sure that means you must get it right. That means you get it right from the beginning, preferably. But actually, if you're actually in a relationship right now, maybe you're dating, maybe it's further along, maybe you're even married. If you're watching this video, this tells me there is actually something wrong. There are niggling doubts in your mind. So you've had 2 questions. We're on to the third one. Now, this third one is a little bit more tricky. The first 2 questions are enough, but we've just added this one more question just to make it crystal clear so you can be 100% sure whether you are with the right guy for you. But answering this question really does depend on your relationship with your parents, because we're going to introduce your parents to this. Now, I don't know your relationship with your parents. Maybe you have a great one. Maybe you don't have one at all. But still, in an ideal situation, and you had a fantastic relationship with your parents, and you were about to introduce this man to your parents, I want you to consider 2 things. Would you feel proud to introduce him to your parents? What's your initial gut reaction? Be honest about it. The second part to this is, would they be happy? Would they feel comfortable? Would they think you've made the right choice and decision choosing this man? What's your initial gut reaction? Be honest. Did you pause? Did you have to think about it? Did you feel uncomfortable? Or was it, they'd be so happy? Are you actually excited to introduce him to your parents? Have they met your parents? Have they met your mum? Have they met their dad? What do they actually think? So if they have met them, what do your parents actually think of your partners? Now, again, I just want to stress, it does depend on your relationship with your parents. It does depend whether you and your parents share the same or similar values. So if you don't feel comfortable with that third question, go back to the first 2 and answer them. Did you get 2 yeses? Did you get 2 no's? Did you get 3 yeses, 3 no's? What did you get? Whatever answer you gave, especially if you gave a no, look back and ask yourself, why is it a no? Remember, if it's problems that are stacked really high, perhaps that's telling you that this is something to end. Clearly, there's something for you to work on. If there's a couple, what are these issues? What are these problems? And what's a reasonable and realistic solution to these problems? Have you tried to solve them? Has he tried? What's happened? So, get it right. And the way you get it right is to choose Mr. Right from the beginning. Get it right from them. If you're watching this video, you do have niggling doubts, but I don't want you to have any niggling doubts. You should not, listen to this carefully, you absolutely should not commit to any man when there are any doubts. You don't want to get married to someone when you have doubts. Remember, what I'm about is long-term, happy, successful, loving relationships. You do not move forward with any man until everything feels good. You're meant to feel good. It's meant to feel right. So, let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you thought of those questions. I want to know your answers. Leave me comments below. I love to respond to your comments. I like to find out more about you. So I have great videos on my channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification button if you haven't done that also. And keep on watching. My name is Andrea and I show you how to attract and keep your Mr. Right. But for now, I wish you well and bye for now.